today I wanted to try something a little bit different. So we will talk about colors in French, and I will use my fidget toys to show them to you. So this one I think is really famous one. It's like a fake keyboard thing. I actually just got it, and I love fidget toys, but I'm usually bored of them really quick, so I never know if I will enjoy them before I buy them. And this one, I really love this one so much. It's really so satisfying. I like it. So let me show you. It does really cool sounds. And actually, when I use a real keyboard and I'm typing stuff, when I don't know what I need to type, or I'm thinking about it, I will usually do that really quickly on the keyboard. And I love this noise too, this sound. So let's talk a little bit about colors. Let's start, I think, with this one. It's like it's pink, okay, but it may look a little bit, I don't know, orange on screen, but it's pink in real life. I really love pink. And in French we say rose for pink. Rose. I wrote it down so you can see how it's spelled. So I said pink is rose. Rose. Like this. And I think this is the word for a dark red or something like that in English. So in French it means pink. And it also, when we say voir la vie en rose, so see life in pink, it's this rose we think, the rose, the pink color, not the rose, the flower. Because we also say rose for flower in French, both for flower and the color. Now next one I think is like, it is green. It looks like mint more than green, I think. And in French, I think it's mint, okay? So we'll say mint. In French, mint is this one. Menthe. This one. So it isn't really green, it's mint. When you don't know if it's green or blue, it happens a lot for people. We say this in French, turquoise. I wrote, okay. Here, turquoise. I think turquoise does exist in English, so it's turquoise in French. When you don't know if it's blue or green, you say that. Let's do another one. Here we have real blue. This one is clearly blue. And blue in French is bleu. So same letters but different order. Bleu. And if you know a little bit about French, you know that every nouns in French is either feminine or masculine. So sometimes it's logical, sometimes it isn't really logical. And usually we don't even know the logic behind it. We just, how do we say? We learn because we speak French, but we don't know why it's specifically feminine or masculine. Even if sometimes it's logical, because there is a reason behind it, but we don't know. So if you have, for example, a feminine noun, you will add a E at the end of the color. And if you have a feminine and plural, you will add a E and a S, or just an S if it's masculine. But, because French is a difficult language, we have some exception. So if a color comes from another noun, so for example orange comes from the fruit orange, so orange is orange in French, and it comes from orange the fruit, so you don't need to put any S at the end because it comes from a noun. Same for marron. And I think the other rules is like, if you how do you say that? If you say bleu clair, for example, bleu clair is like light blue, so you should write it bleu and then clair. Clair means light. This way. So if you say that, you don't put any S at the end too, because it's like a color made with two nouns. So there isn't any agreement to do. In French we say accord, so I think it's agreement in English. It's when you need to know if your noun is singular, plural, feminine or masculine, because you need to know to do the accord, the agreement with the adjective, for example. So now that we've talked about these complicated rules, let's talk about another color. So purple. So this whole thing is purple, and you have two purple here. Purple in French is this one, violet. And for example, if it's feminine, you will say violet. So because at the end of the word there is a T, for feminine you need to put another T and a E. And for feminine plural, TES, and if it's just plural, you will need to put, if I can find my, okay, here, you will need to put just an S, like this. Violet. So let's talk about this one now. So it isn't really a color, you know, but it's really useful still. If you do some painting, for example. So it's white. In French it's called blanc. Blanc, written like this, B-L-A-N-C, blanc. If it's plural, you can put an S after the C. We don't do that in French. But if it's feminine, you can put H-E, which make blanche, because names that end in C should have H and E for the feminine. And if it's plural, then you can put an S, because you can put an S after a E. So it's blanche, feminine, plural. And the S, obviously, you don't pronounce it usually when it's at the end of the word. At the end of a word, sorry. Let's talk about other color. Just one last time. So for other color, I have this one here. I really love this one because the sound are perfect, really. I really like rainbow stuff. I just love all the color put together. So I think in this one we have two color we didn't see yet. Oh, three color. So for the color we have orange here. Orange, it's the same. And little fun fact, did you know that a lot of English words actually come from French? And it's a little bit funny because I think some words we don't even use them anymore in French. So if I remember well, towel in English come from a word in French, but I don't remember which word, and I think we don't use it anymore at all. So a lot of words come from French, and some of them aren't even used anymore in French. Some of them are still used, like fruit, for example, fruit. So orange in French, so it's written the same way. And you shouldn't put anything at the end because it comes from the fruit, so it's a noun. So then we have yellow here, yellow. And yellow in French is jaune. And yellow is a little bit fun because same as rose, some people say rose or jaune. I don't know if you know that, but in French we have a lot of different places and we speak different languages sometimes. So you speak French and they speak languages specific to the places they live. So for example in the north they have their own thing. In the west, so some people know about Brittany have their own language they speak. So not everyone in Brittany speaks the language, but some people know it and still use it. But everyone speaks French, obviously. So jaune, and in some places in the south, here they say jaune and not jaune, like I say. And it's because of the accent. So French have a lot of different cultural stuff, and it's really a lot. Then we have, I think we have real green here. It's really green, it doesn't look blue at all. Like a real green. Green in French, is vert, V-E-R-T. And this word is used as an example usually, vert, for words that sound the same but aren't written the same way. So in French we have a lot of that. It's called homophone. And là, I have another fun fact, but French come a lot from Latin and Greek, ancient Latin and Greek. And we have homophone. For example, if you study a little bit about language, you know homo means the same, and phone is a sound. So same sound, that means that, homophone. That's what we say. For example, homosexual is the one you will think first, same sex. And also homophone, same sound. So these are the words that have the same sound but doesn't mean the same and aren't written the same way. Vert, vert, vert. I miss one. Vert, vert, vert. Which one I'm missing? Vert. Yes. Oh my god, my R are absolutely disastrous. Oof. Un vert, un vert, un vert, un vert. Okay, I think I got them. What I'm missing? Okay, so this is the color, V-E-R-T. This is glasses, not the glass, the one you drink in it, or the one from, how do you call that? A window, for example, glass. So V-E-R-R-E. This one means toward something, so V-E-R-S. So if you go toward this, you will say vers this place, for example. And V-E-R is the worm in the dirt. And we have a last one. This is a real fun fact. Vert, written this way. V-A-I-R-E. So we don't use this word anymore. I mean, some people might know about it, but we don't use it. It's for squirrel leather. So squirrel skin, basically. And for if you think about Cinderella, for example, Cinderella is an old fairy tale, and it was written by Charles Perrault. I mean, I think he didn't invent it, but he made it famous. And we think Cinderella glasses shoes actually is a mistranslation of this word, vert. basically we think people saw, because it's the same as this one, that it was shoes made of glass, but actually in the old tale it was shoe made of ver, so of leather of squirrel, because it was a really expensive leather, so that's why it was important shoes, you know, because it was expensive, but it wasn't glass, it was this one. But it's a little fun fact and theory about Cinderella. Let's say bye to this one, because I think we did all the color. Let me check if I found. Yes, here I have red here. It is little gloss. So this is red. So red in French is, it smells really good, is rouge. So R-O-U-G-E, rouge. Here, I don't have any specific fun fact about rouge. I don't think so. Except people say it's, oh yeah, we use rouge for, for bull, saying it's supposed to make bull angry or anything, but it doesn't. It's just a fake fact. Red doesn't make bulls any more angry. And maybe a last one. Yes, this one. This one is very colorful. So this, here you can see on the thing here, is brown, and in French it's marron. Marron, like this. And fun fact about marron, it's this word, we use it to speak about the thing you eat, like the nut, but it isn't this actually. This thing is, you shouldn't eat it, but we still use it to talk about the little fruit you eat, but it's not the same, and it has another word for it, but we still use this one. I don't know why, because of the color, I think, because it's marron, it's brown, so we say marron, but it's not marron. And what can I say? Oop. We have this color here, black. It's not a color again, but same as white, it's very useful. So noir here. You can put an E, you can put an S if you need. You can put just an S at the end, also works if it's masculine plural. Noir. Noir. I think oua might be a little bit hard. Noir. You need to think about like what or something. What? Noir. And I'm missing, I think I'm missing two. Maybe this one here. It's gold. So it's not really a color in French. It's like an adjective. And this one, silver. So gold in French is an adjective. It's doré. So you said something is doré when it's the color, and the color is, it's not really a color, it's a material, but it's or. Or is from, it's gold. Doré, it's when you say about the color. So if something is the same color as gold, it's doré. And you can put an E, an S, or just an S at the end. And for silver, oh my god, I can't erase it. No, that's fine. For silver, it's, we call argent. This way. ARGENT. Sorry, I will written a little bit too fast here. And argent is the same for money. We say argent too for money. So it's for the color. It's for the how do we say that? Minerai. Oh my god, why I can't? When the thing you mine, I don't know why I can't find the name. In French, it's called minerai, and you will know where mine come from. So minerai. So you thing you find in the mine, MINERAIS. So that's why mine, because French word I met this way too. Mine, it's like the place you found minerai. Miner, MINER. It's the verb to say you mine something, and minerai is the thing you found when you mine. And I can't remember how we say it in silver. Why can't I remember that? Oh, I think we say, or maybe this word, I'm not sure. Or, I don't know. So you find, so when you find argent, it's the same. It's the material, it's the color, it's also money. So yeah. And I think we did pretty much all the color. All the color I can think of. I mean, there's a lot of color, but the most important one, yeah, I can't find anything else. So yeah, so French is a little bit difficult. So even if I try to don't do much explanation, it still end up pretty long because it's a lot of rule, a lot of exception. It's really hard language. But I think I said pretty much everything I can think of, and share a little bit some fun facts. So it's still cool. Hope you enjoy learning a little bit about French today. Bye bye.